Good morning, Drugs, Brain, and Behavior class. Welcome to the semester. I just want to post here to give you a little overview of the class and how to navigate the Canvas shell. So when you log into Canvas in our course, this will be the home page that you see. You see three main options here: the syllabus, the module section, and the virtual office. I would very much like you to post all questions that you have that can be publicly viewed. If it's not a personal situation, please post it here to the virtual office. Doing so will allow others to view your question and, importantly, my answer to them. Then the modules section is where you will find the majority of our content for the class. You can see every week we will have a module, and you can see they're organized into 15 modules. All content will be available and accessible through each module. So for example, here in week 1, you can view what to do for week 1, how to access the material that I prepared for you through the associated links, and importantly, here are the learning objectives. Please note that the majority of what I quiz you and test you on comes directly from the learning objectives for the respective week. So if you want to do well, at the very minimum, all you need to do is pay attention and learn the learning objectives. And finally, there are a couple more things I want to put out to you in here. First, here's the first chapter of the textbook. It is really the only chapter of the textbook that I mandate that you read. After you've read the first chapter of the textbook, frankly, you could probably get by with my PowerPoints and notes only. After the first chapter, I would say that the chapter is mostly a supplemental resource for you. And the final exam that you'll see down here is OpenNote. The study guide is provided to you in advance. You may click on it as early as today and start completing the final exam. If you answer all the questions in advance, the idea is that you can copy and paste the answers into your final exam at the end of the year. And then finally, you can click here to access the syllabus. This syllabus was designed for online classes. It was not designed to be printed out, but it works and functions just like a normal syllabus, so I just tried to make it a little more engaging. As you will see, this is a unique online course. They're not going to be traditional exams. You will have lecture or quizzes each week. These are primarily going to be on the learning objectives. Especially toward the end of the year, we will introduce more and more short answer format. I know that these can be done in the 15-minute allotted time. Giving more would, of course, make it very easy to look up all of the information, seeing how everything is OpenNote in the class. And on that note, I think that it is actually a better format than the traditional exams, because you can, in the real world, look up all relevant information. It's how quickly can you look up information, and how can you find the correct information. Hopefully, and many of our questions will require you to apply said information, particularly the short answer. So that's really what I'm looking for there. There's also going to be several discussions throughout the course. And of course, the final exam that I've already alluded to, it is OpenNote. You should complete the study guide in advance and bring in additional resources from outside of class to make a perfect score on your final exam. And then I'm introducing a new idea here. In the past, I haven't allowed anyone to drop anything, so you're actually quite lucky in this way. But I am going to require some participation to get there. So, as typical, I want you to aspire to complete all quizzes, and I'm giving you the option of completing any 4 of the 7 discussions. However, I will drop 3 of your quizzes and replace your lowest discussion grade with one of the existing 4. So you'll end up with 4 discussion grades, but I will completely wipe out your lowest of the 4 discussions if your class in general actively participates in the virtual office and at least 70% of your class participates in the FCQ report. If you do that, I will drop an additional discussion grade, so really you'll only be grading on your top 3, and I will drop your 3 lowest quizzes. Because of that grand deal, I'm not dropping or giving you makeup quizzes or anything like that. If you have issues with Canvas, here's the Canvas hotline. Your grade will be composed of the quizzes, the final exam, and discussions. I have reduced or eliminated several assignments, including a traditional paper that I require. But I do expect you to do additional research in your final exam questions, and your discussion posts also must come with replies. If they do not come with at least 3 replies, I will deduct from your total discussion post grade. Again, your quizzes occur every week. They will always be due by midnight on Sunday. The final exam, again, is going to be all short answer. You already have all of the questions. To make a perfect score, you need to bring in additional content that you can cite in whatever format you choose. But if you bring in additional material that enriches the content and brings additional information to it, then you will receive a perfect score. If you only do a perfect job covering what I taught you in class, that will give you a B. If you do an imperfect job, that will get you a C, and so on and so forth. But that's essentially the rubric for the final. Now here you can see the weekly calendar of events. Every Sunday is when things are due, by Sunday by midnight. You should just get into this habit of getting everything done by Sunday by midnight. But on the bright side, I try to make this as flexible as possible. You have all week to complete the material that I allude to here and then expand upon in the module section. And then here, by this Sunday, you must complete the specific content. Here's a little overview of how we do the discussions. You will be given content. So here are the 7 total choices that you have. And then in set weeks that a discussion is available, you may participate. You may participate in all 7. I will grade your highest 4. And, if you are satisfied with 4, you may completely forego or choose not to participate in 3 of the 7 discussions on the diagnosed topics. Again, the diagnosed topics will be a research proposal on a distinct class of drug scheduling compounds, the addictive nature of sugar and how that compares to what we know about the addictive nature of cocaine. Will psychiatric medicine be genetically tailored to the individual in the future? The concept of pharmacogenomics. Sex differences. Are women or men more susceptible to addiction? Does cannabis increase risks for psychiatric disease? Should psychedelics be considered as pharmacotherapies? And the opiate epidemic, what went wrong and how could we better treat patients with chronic pain? So those are the topics of discussion. Again, you must participate in 4, and I will drop an additional score if you participate in the FCQ and virtual office. So again, with these group discussions, you will post a 3-minute, up to a maximum of 3-minute video clip using Flipgrid. It is shown, you're guided how to do this through the individual modules, and then you must respond to several members. Really, I will give you full credit if you respond to 3 total discussion posts. These can be back and forth discussions. And if you fail to participate in the discussion part and you just make your original post, you will get at maximum a 75%. Here's a little pointer on how to post through Flipgrid. It is a very simple, straightforward add-on. It is much better than the anything provided through Canvas. You know, I will give you, of course, your full fall break. So starting on the 25th of November, you get a week off. And I'm also giving you a full week to prepare for your final exam. Really, in a best case scenario, I would hope that you would be preparing for your final throughout the year and just be ready to copy and paste when it opens. But, you know, your choice. So that is all I have for now. Please respond to the virtual office with any questions or concerns regarding the class.